Ivaylo watched suspiciously as the Bulgars bowed their heads in his presence. No matter what respect they showed him as Tsar in daylight, he knew they whispered and cursed him in the shadows. Murderer! Peasants, come! Turnovo might be the city of the Tsars, but it belonged to the Bulgars. Ivaylo knew that remaining there would be a death sentence, but he was tied to the city. The Tsarina was carrying his child, yet fatherhood would have to wait. The Emperor was undeterred by Ivan Asen's defeat. He enlisted his son-in-law, a great Mongol warlord named Nogai, to unleash war on Bulgaria. A descendant of Genghis Khan, Nogai was broad-shouldered and barrel-chested. He had lost an eye battling a brother in the Caucasus, a disfigurement that cost him the chance to rule as Khan of the Golden Horde. However, that was to his liking. Nogai was not a man to sit idly in a golden tent. He became the kingmaker and the real power behind the horde, leading its warriors into battle. Mongols, Tatars, Cumans, warriors as numerous as blades of grass streamed across the Danube into Bulgaria. Ivaylo raced in the middle of the night to the river town of Drastar. There, he would raise an army and make his stand. In Turnovo, the Tsarina, alone and with child, waited for his return.
The Mongols have challenged the champion to single combat. Branislav has volunteered. If he dies before we reach Drastar, the garrison will lose hope and surrender to the Mongols. We must hurry, Ivaylo.
You finally come, Tsar of the Bulgars! Nogai Khan looks forward to a great battle! Do not disappoint him!
Tsar, do not worry yourself over resources. We have stocked the town with everything you would need. Lead our armies, and we will provide for them. Tsar, a Tatar has been waiting for you outside the city walls. He calls himself Kasim Bey, and says he has an offer for you.
Tsar Ivaylo, we are kindred spirits. We both wish to free our peoples. Kill the Khans who rule the Tatars and Cumans, and these tribes will turn against the Mongols.
Your people once rode this steppe. It is a shame that none of that old blood remains in you. Come out from behind your walls, Tsar! You have built many towers, but Nogai Khan will topple them!
Right, humans! You are now free! Destroy the Mongols!
Strong steel can only come from a hot forge. You have shown Nogai Khan who is weakest among his warriors.
My Tatar brothers, I have freed you! Ride against Nogai Khan!
Nogai Khan's horsemen are like blades of grass on the open steppe. Thousands may be trampled, but the horde marches on. You fight well. Nogai Khan will grant you a noble death. You will be boiled alive and impaled in front of Nogai's tent. Ha ha! The smell of burnt flesh and the taste of blood. Does it not fill you with joy? Ha ha! It has been an honor to fight a strong enemy! Go now, Tsar of the Bulgars! Your throne has been taken by traitors!
A lone rider approached Drastar and called for the Tsar. Ivaylo wondered, was this a messenger of the One-Eyed Khan offering peace? But as the Tsar raised himself against the battlements, he could see the horseman was a Bulgarian. What word did he bring from Ternova? Did he come to tell Ivaylo of the birth of his child? No, the rider bore a message which chilled Ivaylo and the survivors of the siege. Tsar, the horseman began, your men in Ternova are dead, murdered by the Bolyars who have opened the gates to Ivan Asen. Ivan has taken the Tsarina and your newborn child and delivered them as prisoners to the Emperor. Ivaylo rode south, galloping past torched villages and overturned fields. He rode under the tall peaks and through the narrow passages of the Balkan mountains. There, the remnants of his army would make their final stand. A great Roman army was approaching, sent to reinforce Ivan's faction in Ternova. The army was commanded by the general, Mikhail Glabas, who had strengthened his already impressive numbers with Tatar mercenaries. With Ivan in the north and the Romans marching from the south, Ivaylo knew neither refuge nor retreat remained for his last followers. His men would win or die in these mountain passes. But these valleys had witnessed impossible victories before. Here was where Bulgarian Khans and Tsars etched their places in history. The walls of granite rock echoed the names of heroes like Krum, Simeon, and Kaloyan the Roman slayer. To these, the names of Ivaylo and his men would be added.
Bulgarians, lay down your swords and turn over the one called Ivaylo. The Emperor will spare your lives. He only demands your leader.
Roman dog. Come and take him.
Тотчас давай. Приказания. Да, аз собираюсь. Понятно.
Tsar, Ivan Asen's men hold this town. You will have to go through the mountains to reach your warriors defending the pass. Like you, my people are forced by persecution into the mountains. They mark their hideouts with ancient statues. Help me shepherd them, and they will aid you. I have heard of scouting with sheep, but pigs? That's crazy enough to work.
Приказания собираюсь. К вашим услугам. Собираюсь.
Аз готова. Аз избирателница.
Приказания. Да.
Tsar, a Tatar warband came through here looking for the Roman supply camp. Their leader said he was a friend of yours.
Твой Господь. Вас сейчас давай. Приказания час понятно. Собираюсь. Да.
Да, господин, аз дела нямам. К оръжию, в бой!
К вашим услугам. Во имя Господне.
You are quite popular with the Romans, it seems, Tsar. It's about time you come here. Welcome to Kotel Pass, the Valley of Death. Tsar, I have no intention of discouraging you from killing every cursed Roman. But our goal should be Devnia. If we take the castle, we control the region.
Да, господин.
The Emperor has taken good care of your wife and child, Ivaylo. He will be merciful to you. Surrender now!
К вашим услугам. Приказания. К вашим услугам. Да, аз делаю. Понятно.
Приказания ремонтница.
I am coming for you, Ivaylo!
Здравей.
I have defeated Turks and treacherous Latin crusaders. I will not return to my emperor without victory!
Зиждительница.
Да? Зиждител. Аз дела. Правилно. Точно дела. Лесоръб.
Tsar, I bring a news from Tarnovo. That cursed dog Ivan Asen has fled like a coward after hearing how we have been killing Romans here. Tsar, I will go to Tarnovo at once. I will rally your supporters and we will take back the city.
Ivaylo's impossible victory at the Kotel Pass brought fear to Ivan. He abandoned Tarnovo and fled to the Emperor's court. The Emperor offered no solace to a coward. In Turnovo, no sooner had the Bolyars discovered the Tsar's throne empty than they began to squabble over it. The wisest of the Bolyars reminded the others that the kingdom was still threatened by both Mongols and Romans. Bulgaria needed stability, and that would mean all Bolyars would need to unite under a single banner. From among their ranks, the Bolyars found a warrior to defend and unite the kingdom. A man descended from the tribe of the legendary Cuman warrior, Kotyan. They chose Georgi Terter as Tsar. Betrayed by Georgi Terter, Ivaylo returned to Turnovo, but the gates were barred to him. His men finally gave up hope. They returned to their fields, their uprising in Ivaylo's brief reign just a memory, to be lost and forgotten. But Ivaylo could not forget. As he stood powerless before the city's walls, the weight of his fate as a mere pig herder finally weighed upon him. He had defied all odds. He had not just challenged a Tsar, a Khan, and an emperor, but had upset the very order of the world. He, a swineherd, had dared to overthrow kings and make men free. With these thoughts, Ivaylo took the greatest risk of his life. Perhaps blinded by his ambition, or blinded by his hope, Ivaylo turned to his enemy for help. He sought redemption in the land of the blind, where the one-eyed man is king.
Bring me the head of that renegade Bardokfa.
Ivaylo, it is me, Kasim. I will go my own way to Nogai Khan and meet you there. I have made arrangements with one Radu Negru. He will help you cross the Carpathians.
You must be the Tsar that Kasim Bey spoke of. You do not look as impressive as he made you seem. Come, I have a camp. The Hungarians oppress my people. Help me overthrow the oligarch Roland Borsa and you will have a way out of the mountains. My monk can speak to some of the villagers to start a revolt, but we must be cautious. The Hungarians will crush any overt military force. Now we must be very careful with this villager. We must begin gathering resources for a rebellion under the very noses of the Hungarians.
Зиждительница.
Аз готов.
Аз готова. Здравствуй.
Зиждител. Аз делаю. Правилно.
Понятно.
Здрав.
Приказания.
Да. Приказания.
Зиждительница.
Зиждител. Приказания.
A Roman banner. Looks like your rival, Ivan Asen, has similar intentions to meet with Nogai. We have crippled the Hungarian supply lines.
Да. С вашим условием. Да. Приказания. Бой.
Thank you, Tsar. No matter what happens to your people, you have held free Wallachia. Take comfort in that. Now, go to Nogai Khan.
Speak.
I come to you, exalted Khan, on bended knee so that my people have a chance to be free once more. I ask for your support against those who enslave my people.
You are not the first Tsar come to grovel at Nogai's feet, but you have twice the manhood of this Ivan Asen. The great Khan has joined the ancestors. Nogai cannot war until a successor sits in the golden tent. You will raid Kiev and Crimea in Nogai's name. Do this, and Nogai will consider your request.
Да, тот час делай, аз делаю. Зиждителница.
You have forgotten how to fight, Tsar! Stop suckling your pigs and raid like a Bulgar Khan! Speak!
Exalted Khan, I have done what you have asked. Against my wishes, I have murdered innocent men and women so that you will favor me and Bulgaria will be free once again.
You are an honorable warrior, but honor alone does not make men free. Come into the tent and tell Nogai why he should favor you.
The one-eyed Khan ordered a feast for Ivaylo and Ivan Asen, where he listened to their arguments on why he should support one over the other. Then, having heard enough, Nogai rose and pointed to Ivaylo. In that moment, it is said that Nogai's guards seized Ivaylo and murdered him. The body was taken away as Nogai returned to his seat and finished his meal. But I am not so sure that was the end of our hero. In the years since, Ivaylo has appeared again in many places and many times. Wherever the downtrodden have the courage to fight for freedom and justice, Ivaylo seems to appear. He lives in all of us, and especially in you, my child. I can see you're confused. I know you're thinking, what does this pig-herding Tsar have to do with me? Don't you see, my dear? I lived in Bulgaria then. So did you, in fact. You were very young then. A mere baby when I wrapped you in your swaddling clothes and carried you here. It was on the day when the Emperor, my uncle, took us from Turnovo and from your father, Tsar Ivaylo.